Rolex is known for its much safer approach to watch releases, unlike its sister brand Tudor, who's the more adventurous of the two. But all of that has changed. Here's why and what's next for Rolex. Prior to this year, Rolex is known for its very slow and methodical way of updating their watches. We emphasize updates because it's really just minute changes to the design. Lugs were fattened and trimmed as they pleased, case sizes were increased by a millimeter, and the all too familiar dial and bezel color swaps. All of that is starting to change, however. We see how Rolex released a left-handed GMT, adding crown guards to the Air King and offering a massive watch in titanium last year. While it's understandable that many may think that this is an exceptional year of changes compared to the decades of monotony from this brand, it's also reasonable to think that this could be a start of a trend or even a shift in philosophy for Rolex. Let's step back and look at what they released this year. Right off the starting line, they came out with a complete overhaul of the Daytona Chronograph line with its new case design and movement. They completely abolished the languishing Cellini line in favor of a proper dress watch collection, and finally, they released the much fabled Titanium Yacht-Master. This latter one is much more significant than what most may think. From a designer's perspective, this is the second titanium offering of a conscious effort to build a collection of watches using this metal. This shows that Rolex is confident with its metal blend called RLX Titanium, still funny to say, and that it's now found not just in one model but in two. Of course, these current models will be commanding some massive premiums at a retail standpoint, but the brand is more than willing to justify its existence. Yes, you can get grade 5 titanium elsewhere, but until now, it's not from Rolex. The brand always markets itself as a player in the luxury lifestyle segment and on the professional arena of tool watches. Grade 5 titanium is the best material for these products. Titanium is known for its amazing durability and lightweight, making it ideal for high-performance environments. It's already used for decades on race cars, aerospace, and other professional industries. The only drawback is that it's rather expensive to produce and its raw aesthetics is kinda underwhelming. In the past years, titanium has become more accessible, however, and the benefit of grade 5 titanium compared to the more popular blend grade 2 is that you can achieve a pleasing polished surface. This is perfect for the Yachtmaster 42, which not only has this distinct darker shade of brushed or satin metal, but it also sports some polished facet that makes it more visually appealing. The whole crown guard structure gets this polished treatment that really stands out at every wrist roll. The bezel too gets its chamfers finished in the same brilliant fashion. Rolex also made some subtle but significant updates to the bracelet. The pin sleeves are now made of ceramic. This virtually eliminates the bracelet stretching as the metal pins wear away through use. Rolex has been using these on some of their precious metal models, and now the RLX Yacht-Masters will join this very small exclusive club. In other words, it's a true performance tool for regatta competitions, where every ounce saved equates for better speed and it's aesthetically pleasing enough to be worn as men's jewelry. And that is why the Yachtmaster 42 in titanium is a much more significant release than that of the Daytona update. It's not just a materials upgrade and redesign of the watch, but it's also a brand new direction for the crown. From here, we can easily see other iterations of the Yachtmaster using this same metal, and this can also be included in other models such as the Explorer collection. Imagine an Explorer with an oyster flex strap that not only makes it more in line of the exploration-minded, but also offering a much more interesting version for this collection starter. The bezel will remain polished, and the rest can acquire this dark satin sheen that is only available on RLX Titanium. And then of course, having this metal on the sub for its 75th anniversary. This would not only explain the lack of Submariner update, but it's also a little more fitting for such a milestone year. Seeing that the 1240-60 Submariner is the only variant of its kind, having a non-dated titanium Submariner will make a little sense. The good folks at JJ's Watch Hangout also mentioned that the Milgauss might be out for now, but it could be slated for a return in a more industrial iteration, let's say like an RLX Titanium model. This of course has already a precedence where Rolex retired or seemingly discontinued the Air King only for it to return a few years later. And that's how the RLX Titanium is much more pivotal than many may realize. But to support this new direction, we need to just look at the new funky dials of the day dates and that display case backs of the 1908s. All of these are leading towards the direction of younger, more eccentric tastes. As much as Rolex remained the same retired granddad pieces that we all know and love, it's now more aggressively pursuing the younger audience with these major changes. Think about it. Just a couple of years ago, we're already surprised that Rolex broke its usual mold of conservative updates with those Stella dials. This year, we got more case backs than our years in the waitlist and emojis for dates. These are more surprising releases compared to what Tudor offered this year. Who's playing safe now? Rolex is still a measure twice and cut once brand. Well, more like measure 7 times, sent to Nick Offerman for testing, and then on to the CNC table, just looking at the Yachtmaster 42's development. But nevertheless, this is one exciting year of updates from Rolex, and now we're all excited to see what they will come up with next. Next year? Well, maybe next year is going to be a little bit slower because it's just one interim year, but at the very least, in the next 5 years, especially on the 75th anniversary of the Submariner, we can expect something big from the crown.